So, some of you may already know that I have associates, female associates, who are in the porn industry. One of them I've been knowing since high school, you know. So I know one now, and she's still in her 20s. She's still active in porn, and there's another one that's still active in porn. She's approaching 30 as well, and you know, the one that I went to school with, I don't know what the fuck she's doing now. Be honest with you, I don't really keep up with their personal lives unless they post like some shit on Instagram, or on Facebook or something. And then I'm like, oh, okay. So you got a new video coming out with this broad. Okay, y'all doing a scene together. Okay, and that's the only way I know. Right. So the one that is active in porn right now, she made a statement. We were talking the other day, and it prompted me to actually, like when she was talking, it prompted me to do a continuation on a couple of videos that I started on doing. I did like part ones. So this one here is just the part two of Black Women Dating Down. And I'll kind of like follow up on a part three to another video, and kind of like get more in depth into it. But she made a statement to me, and the statement was basically stating like how a lot of black men are naive, thinking that they're gonna go out and get them a woman who is clean and nice, and she hasn't been around the block. She doesn't even know how to suck dick well like that. She doesn't know any sex positions, and she said like a lot of these niggas are just lame. You guys think that they got clean bitches out here when these bitches are all freaks. They just haven't ran into the right nigga to take and bring the freak out of them, or you just not the right nigga to bring the freak out, so they're not bringing the freak out around you. They just kind of like playing this role and all of this other shit, right? And while she was telling me this, because she is cold, like she's very, very, she definitely, she could get it, what I'm saying, since day one, like she could get it. And I'm sitting there, I'm talking to her, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking at her, and I'm like, yeah, and you're the same one, who, when we get into these conversations, you want to, bring up this topic, like almost like how, my homeboy, the street hustler, does. You want to kind of like justify shit. You want to make it seem like, everybody is into what you're doing and shit, what I'm saying? You just do it a little more than everybody else, so, you just real with it because you're open with the shit, what I'm saying? And even with her, like, I made a comment about another porn star that she knows. I haven't met this porn star directly, but, this one particular porn star, she did a video with Tommy Sotomayor, and this chick here is retired from porn, and she basically was talking about how she eventually wants to settle down and have a family of her own. She talks about how her and Mr. Marcus had a baby, or she was pregnant. She was about to have a baby, but she got an abortion and all of this shit. But still now, she's a single person, and she's doesn't have any kids. She lives in Atlanta, and she's on the dating scene. She's in the market and shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, people look at it, they're like, oh, you look familiar, and they're like, oh, I know who you are, you know what I'm saying? And, it's like, it becomes like, well, shit, can you suck me off like how, you was doing on those videos? Can I tap you? Can I, hit you doggy style? Like how it was in those videos. And, my homegirl, she's basically telling me, like, it's acting. Like, even the guys that I know who, do a lot of cinematography and, they do production for like porn and shit. Like they make it seem like, they're acting like take one, and all right, you guys just do missionary and, all right, scene 2, bend her over. Oh shit, you busted a nut. Okay, we'll save that cum shot. If you feel like you're gonna nut, just go ahead and bust her on her face. We'll just, take that and we'll put that towards the end in the editing scene and some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I've seen the whole process of how the shit is done. Like, I was invited to check it out. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man. Like, okay, I see how you guys really have turned this shit into like a real occupation. And like I said, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And that's what I was trying to tell her. Like, you can't do that because, at the same time, like, her Instagram feed will come through and then, it'll be her in Las Vegas or her in Hollywood or, sometime like they'll go and travel. They'll go to Dubai or some shit, you know what I'm saying? And, it's like, you got the perks of being, a celebrity bitch. You got the perks of being, a porn actress and shit, you know what I'm saying? You got the perks of like flaunting around your sexiness. So everywhere you go, you gotta look sexy. When you host a party, your sexy has to be on point and shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's all for the fantasy. Like these same women, they tell me these stories about how like different guys, these rich white guys will take and invite them over to their houses and shit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, okay, so that makes sense. And now I get why, every time I turn around, like, you taking a picture in some fucking extravagant ass bathroom. I say, okay, that's what goes on, you know what I'm saying? Like, for the fantasy, it's okay. Like, just the fuck, it's okay, but when it comes down to long-term relationship, like, is it gonna last? Like, and I call them by their first name, by their real name. So like a lot of the porn names that they use, and even with some of the rappers that I know, it's like, I'm on like first name, nickname type shit, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even want to really say like this girl's name because, like it'll probably like pop up in Google or some shit, you know what I'm saying? But, I'm like, look, for the most part, yeah, like you don't have the baggage. But you've been seen and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, people know you for being like this certain type of motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Like Tommy Sotomayor did a video with this other porn star. What the fuck is her name? Cause she's kind of old now. And basically she has a family now. She has a daughter and I think she's a grandmother now. But she had the same problem, like going to school and shit. Picking up her kids from school, and all the other kids' parents were like, yeah, that your friend's mother is a porn star and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's deeper than dating down. Like, will you even be able to really fucking date at all? Because like walking around in the street and shit, like if a man knows that you was heavy into porn, what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Is he gonna look like bringing you home to mom and all his brothers and his uncles and his cousins and nephews and shit seeing his prized possession and shit, you know what I'm saying, being spread over a bed, over a fucking couch, And my homegirl, like, she's very, very hard on validation and shit. You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't know, like, sometimes the way she does it, it's like, I don't know if she's trying to fuck with me, or she's trying to like send a hint, because like she'll do that shit, you know like how my fat homegirls would do, like, I don't see you looking for a woman with no kids who's in shape and all of this, she, you might as well get with me, this is the best you can get, like that's the way they do it, like they try to sneak it in there, like, what, I can tell you, like, these are how the girls are, these are how women are, and I know because I'm a woman and all of my women friends are, this is how they are, and I'm telling you, this is the best you can get, I'm the best you can get, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm not sure about that, you know what I'm saying? And it's really not, and it's sad too, because it's really hard to find like that one woman, because like I said in my other video, the video in regards to black women and exotic pets, it's like hard to find a black woman who is like, hardcore nerd, not really comic book type of nerd, but, the type of black woman who loves exotic pets like snakes and alligators and shit like that. They have an appreciation for nature and shit. Most of those type of black women, they fucking around with white guys. And they have natural beauty, natural hair and shit like that, and they usually fucking around with white guys. I mean, and I believe I got into more depth in that video. I mean, if you go back to that video, Black Women with Exotic Pets, I kind of like break it down a little more. But, for the rest of the sisters, I mean, it's just like, it's some validation type shit. It's like, validate me because, I'm the best of what there is. And, yeah, I'm a freak, but all women are freaks and shit. And I'm like, come on, man. I mean, that's not going to stop me from, like, liking you anymore, But, I mean, honestly, we just cool peeps. And, I mean, that's just the way it is. Like, when we met, and, I mean, when I first met this girl, it was like I already knew what she was into, and I was like, what, fuck it. And I know somebody else I did it the same way, like, I know who your daddy is and shit, you know what I'm saying? I know who your father is. And this is just like this chick here who I'm talking about. She's not in the porn industry, but her father is well known and shit, you know what I'm saying? And when she's approached by guys, it's always, about her father and shit, you know what I'm saying? So, when I approached her, when I started talking to her, it was about her because, she was kind of upset about, like, just some old regular nigga that she was dealing with, didn't have a job, wasn't doing nothing, and, she was supporting him, making sure, like, his bills was paid and shit like that because she had the money, she drives a BMW, and, this motherfucker here, he's on the bus route, and, she just saw good qualities in him, so, we met on that, she was talking about that, and, she asked me a couple things, and, because I never approached her about her father or anything like that, so, we got cool, talking about that, and, it's the same with her, like, she wants to go out, she wants to have fun, she wants to meet other guys, she has needs as well, if you know what I mean, and, like, the younger they are, like I realize that too with a lot of black women. They're young. They want to go out and they want to have fun and shit. And I have nieces now, like that are in their 20s. I have a 25-year-old niece now, and even with her, like I noticed, like I've been around her a lot, like since she was a young girl, and like she's older now, and she's pregnant, Fortunately, she's with a guy, and she is engaged to be married and all of that. Now, I believe they plan on having the wedding soon, before the child comes. But she's with a real decent guy. Like she was raised well. Like my brother and I help instill some qualities into her to help her choose the right type of guy. In fact, the guy that she met is a black guy, dark skinned black guy, and he works at the pet shop. I mean, I'm getting off topic, but I just wanted to kind of like get personal, just to let everybody know, like, I know what you're going through. A lot of black men out there, like, I'm in the dating game. I know what you're going through. Like, I did a video not too long ago about this 36-year-old woman that I know fine as hell. I mean, I know two black women. I mean, they got bodies like Jada Pinkett Smith. I mean, like, real petite. One of the girls, she's dark skinned, got a face look like Jill Marie Jones from Girlfriends, and she has this small petite body. Is 31 years old. I've been knowing her since she was fucking well, knowing her since she was like in her early to mid 20s and shit. But her daughter now is 13. I've been knowing her since her daughter was 6 years old. And now, like, with her, she would always ask me a lot of questions. If would you ever protect me? If some girls was trying to fight, and would you protect me and all of this shit? Like, she would always ask me questions, and now she's still asking me those same questions. Like, would I rather be a single man wishing I was married, or would I rather be a married man wishing I was single? And she's always telling me never have any kids until I'm married. But then again, like, she doesn't know that I know. Like, when I first met her, like, she would always try to be around me, her and her little sister, who was in college. Her sister was much younger than I was. But, I was, just, trying to, like, just get to know her and shit, what I'm saying? Take it slow. Not realizing that she was giving the pussy up to my homeboy, and my homeboy now, since then, he has two kids now by one woman. He stays in an apartment with her. I don't believe he has a job now. I think she's paying all of the bills. He hadn't had a job for a while. But for the most part, he fucked around with her first and shit. And now, she's still, like, trying to find a man, trying to get in a relationship. And, it's been several times where, the house where she stays, actually, it's like condominiums where she stays, because homegirl, she does her thing. Got a nice sports car. Every time when I see her on Instagram, she is like going to, like, a sports event, like an NFL game, because she's a big Dallas Cowboy fan. Sometimes she's like, going to the Cavs games and shit. Like, she spends a lot of time with her daughter. Her and her daughter, they go out to eat at nice restaurants a lot. She her and her brothers, like they do their thing, she's very, very sexy, beautiful lady and shit, what I'm saying? But just because of that, and I know that she was messing around with my homeboy, it's like, because it's like, my homeboy, even though he settled down now, like, it's still shit runs through your head, like, damn, you fucked my homeboy, and I think that's how a lot of women should be. And I see a lot of black women out here, it's all right for them to take and sit down on a porch and all have this common denominator, just the fact that they all have the same baby daddy, and even when that baby daddy is dead and gone, like, they still sit on the porch and talk about, oh yeah, that motherfucker, yeah, he was no good, So, speaking to a childless man, it just doesn't really pan out, and I mean, even though, like, my homegirl who's 31, her child now is 13, and she's almost out the door. Like, she's grown, she's very intelligent. She's not grown at 13, but she's she's the only child, and she has uncles and shit like that. So she's been able to see a lot, and I mean, that's a good thing for her. But like I said, for my homegirl, it's probably best for her to get with a guy who already has kids and shit, what I'm saying? And she would be, of course, dating down, because, the guy that she fucks around with, he's the same way. He'll probably be like, I'm done having kids. Now, don't get me wrong, now my homegirl who I'm talking about, who has that Jada Pinkett body, who looks like Jill Marie Jones, she really, wants to have kids. She's hoping that she can get into a relationship within the next 3 years or so, and she can maybe settle down and have a little son or something like that, you know. But still, in all, like, she needs to do that with somebody who already has a kid, you know. And you know, she pushes up on me a lot, you know, a lot. You know, she asks me a lot of those hypothetical questions and shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I'll feed into it and answer them, but you know, I really don't take it seriously like that. You know, but like I say, very, very sexy woman. And the other woman, and like I said, I don't mean to get personal, because, like, you know, a lot of these guys on YouTube, they don't get personal. They always want to fucking get out there, and they want to put percentages out there to y'all. They want to be like, oh yeah, you know, percentages of black women this and percentages of, you know, black men this. And I know a lot of people are tired of that, because I've seen it. I've seen black people give me praise. Like I said, they thank me for putting out like personal shit and letting them know that I can relate to them. And then also too, I get the ones that still out there. Oh, it's too many personal stories. I'm like letting you know, like, look, I can relate. I'm not out here just pointing out shit. I'm in the trenches. I know what the fuck is going on. Like, this 36-year-old woman as well, like short, petite women. And I mean, I just got a fetish for short, you know, petite women. I don't know what the fuck it is, you know what I'm saying? You know, but like, this is another one. Got a body like Jada Pinkett. Got the face like her as well, like, you know, very, not really like a Jada Pinkett face, more like Regina Hall, like, you know, she got that little pug nose and them big ass eyes and shit, you know what I'm saying, and she got that real sarcastic attitude, you know, like real goofy and shit, you know what I'm saying, but she got 5 kids, 36 years old, look like she's in her 20s, she got 5 kids, the oldest one is 22 years old, and I've made videos about her as well, because I was considering getting with her and shit, but she made that comment, like I've heard before. And I'm sure a lot of black men over 30 have heard this from black women. Oh, I'm done having kids. You know? So, you know, that, and, you know, me still kind of like beating that through my head, and then, you know, knowing all through the pregnancy of her daughter, because her daughter was going to Grambling State University, and then ended up with a Ray Ran Pookie nigga, got pregnant, had to drop out, you know. During all of this time, I'm still, like, you know, digging shorty, because, you know, she, like, at first, before I even got the chance to get to know her, she was playing hard to get for, like, at least a good 3 to 6 months and shit, you know what I'm saying? And she finally started giving in, and, you know, she saw how I moved around, and, you know, she saw, you know, my circle, and then she started, you know, showing me all of these pictures of her children, started introducing me to her children, her daughters, and, you know, her youngest daughter's like 6, and the oldest one is 22 years old, you know. I mean, I've done videos about her, you know, but like I say, even with her, like, you know, she wants a long-term relationship. She wants to, you know, settle down and get married and shit, even though she has 5 kids with 2 different baby daddies, and, you know, she's pushing up on me quite heavy, and, you know, now after telling me all of this, I'm like, well, yeah, you know, we could still be cool. I mean, she's pressing up on me like quite heavy, you know, and like I say, like, you know, yeah, we could be cool. And I don't want to like diss her like how she was dissing me at first, you know, because like even after she, you know, dissed me, you know, the first couple of times when I was just being nice to her and shit, then she started opening up, and I was like, oh, okay, so you want to be nice now, you know what I'm saying? But now, like she's really, really pressing up on me, looking for me, asking friends and shit about me and all of that. And if I do see her, I mean, I could easily be like, you know, like, you know, what's up, nigga? We gonna fuck and all that, like, you know. But then, you know, she's gonna feel some kind of, well, she might even throw the pussy this way. Like, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I find like with me, you know, I was at this point where it's like, it's hard for me to just be open with women. Like, you know what? I mean, if you done having kids, you know, you saying this shit to a childless man, let's just fuck. I mean, because you know that I ain't trying to have no kids with you. You know, like, you already know, like you know, the proof is here. Like, I'm a childless man. You think I want more responsibility? You think I want to have, like, you know, a 6th kid, you know, with you, and I'm baby daddy number 3? I mean, come on, let's just keep it 100. So, that's it. You know, I wanted to kind of like follow up on that video. There's a few other videos that I will be doing part 2s of. In fact, what I am going to start doing as well in the future, probably for season 3, is I'll start doing live podcasts, and you know, I'll start inviting like other black YouTubers on my platforms as well. And actually, what I want to do is there's a couple of videos that I've had out there before that I put out there, and I'm gonna like do series of those videos, like this one, for instance. You know, black women dating down. So you know, when I do those, when I have those part threes, it'll probably like go into like, you know, a 10-part series or something like that for quite a few of those videos, and then I can just start setting them up in YouTube folders and you know, go from there. So that's it, man. You guys be warm. You know, I won't say be cool because it is freezing out there. So that's it. Sam Sim, peace.